Hey besties, welcome back to the film Frontline. Today we are talking about Prime Video's brand new obsession, Young Sherlock. If you thought you knew everything about the world's greatest detective, trust me, you need to sit down and take notes because Guy Ritchie just completely flipped the script. We are talking dark academia aesthetics, major plot twists, and a totally unhinged origin story. Grab your iced lattes and let's get into it. Let's jump straight into our deep dive breakdown. We are traveling back to the 19th century, but this is not your grandfather's Baker Street. We are following a 19-year-old Sherlock Holmes during his time at Oxford University. And here is the biggest gag right out of the date. There is no John Watson. I know, my jaw dropped too. But honestly, removing Watson from the equation is a total boss move. It frees Sherlock from the usual tropes and lets him stand entirely on his own. We saw this formula work flawlessly with a female lead in Enola Holmes, and now the boys are catching up. Playing our titular hero is hero Fiennes Tiffin, and let me tell you, he is bringing a completely new, emotionally raw vibe to the character. This Sherlock is not the icy, calculated mastermind like Benedict Cumberbatch, and he isn't throwing heavyweight punches like Robert Downey Jr. He's impulsive, naive, and a little bit messy, which makes him so incredibly relatable. He's hyper-focused and brilliant, yes, but he's also just a teenager trying to figure his life out while a massive conspiracy and murder plot unravels around him. But the absolute wildest part of the show, his best friend at Oxford is none other than James Moriarty. Yes, that Moriarty. Played by Donal Finn, this version of Moriarty is insanely charming, a total trickster, and essentially gets adopted into the Holmes family. They literally share a mind palace where they bounce clues off each other. It is giving ultimate bromance, which makes the inevitable industry knowledge of his villainous future so much more devastating. A huge fan theory circulating right now is that their friendship will officially fracture over the tragic backstory of Sherlock's younger sister, Beatrice. We know she passed away in an accident, and the trauma heavily impacts Sherlock and his mother, Cordelia, played beautifully by Natasha McElhone. What if Moriarty knows more about that accident than he's letting on? The ultimate betrayal would be iconic and utterly tragic. Speaking of iconic, the women in this show are serving absolute royalty. Xin Seng plays the visiting Chinese princess Shoan, and she is not here to play the damsel in distress. She is a martial arts powerhouse, cunning, and completely matches the boys' intellect. We love a highly capable queen who keeps everyone on their toes, and her hidden agenda had so many juicy layers to the central mystery. From an industry perspective, Guy Ritchie directing an 8-episode television series is a massive power play. Prime Video is clearly trying to build a powerhouse YA franchise here, taking an established intellectual property and breathing fresh, youthful life into it. Ritchie brings his signature kinetic action, fast-paced dialogue, and frenetic camera work, but he actually shows incredible restraint. It never feels like a 2-hour movie stretched too thin. The pacing is perfectly dialed in for a binge-worthy TV mystery. Now, let's break down the pros and cons because we have to keep it real. The biggest pro is definitely the cohesive, twisty narrative. You are going to be glued to your screen because the overarching conspiracy is crafted so well. The casting of the supporting characters, especially McElhone as the grieving but loving mother, and Finn as Moriarty, is top tier. But there are a few cons. Max Irons plays Mycroft Arms, and unfortunately, the math isn't mathing with his characterization. Mycroft is supposed to be the older, infinitely smarter tactician, but here he feels a little too ordinary and gets overshadowed by the rest of his family. Also, while the final twist of the season is absolute chef's kiss, the last act feels incredibly rushed when it comes to developing Moriarty's darker side. It just doesn't totally align with the charming agent of chaos we spent the whole season falling in love with. All right, it is time for the film Frontline opinion. Personally, I'm obsessed with this fresh take. It's so hard to reinvent a character that has been done hundreds of times, but dropping an emotional, unpolished Sherlock into an Oxford murder mystery is exactly the kind of main character energy we deserve right now. It's fun, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it sets the chessboard perfectly for a massive multi-season game. If you love a good puzzle with a side of gorgeous period piece aesthetics and complex relationships, this is an absolute must-watch. So I have to know your thoughts. When the time comes, how do you think the ultimate heartbreaking betrayal between Sherlock and Moriarty is actually going to go down? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below because I want to read every single one. And if you loved this breakdown and want to stay ahead of the curve on all things movies and TV, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the Film Frontline family. Stay fabulous, and I will see you in the next one.